So here's a little video just to showcase everything I've done for this conversion. This is my 88 5th Avenue Chrysler factory 318. Was originally a 2-barrel with the electronic spark fuel control system thing. Just old school computer that sort of worked mostly. I've converted it to Edelbrock Performer intake manifold, you can sort of see, and carb ThermoQuad. Ooh, those carbs scare a lot of people, but I don't know, they're kind of complicated, but you can get them for so cheap. Nobody wants them anymore. If you buy a handful of them, you can make one good one out of a bunch usually. That's pretty much what I did here. Other things, spark plug wires, you probably noticed right off the bat. Those are some nice Taylor 8mm that were on the 360 in my Duster. I use those, same with the distributor, the cap. It's got this MSD box here that a couple of friends gave to me because I couldn't get it to work, and turned out that somebody in the past had put all the wires together in the wrong way. They were all tied up and they were extended, and the extended wires were different color than the originals, so yeah, they were just, the wires were all misarranged. So I kind of pulled it apart and checked where the wires went to and cut the extensions out, and it works great. No issues there. So that was basically free. It was free. What else? It's got a new MSD blaster coil down there in the stock location. Front, I did a full timing set swap, so that's underneath all this junk in the front. The cam sprocket, crank sprocket, and timing chain. I put in a double roller that had also was in my 360 in my Duster. New belts, a couple new hoses, like that bypass hose right there, the sort of elbow one, this one. Other than that, fuel line I kind of rerouted. That part is new, all the scratches on there because I clamped it in my vise to get to punch some flares, or a flare in the end on here so that it would seal. It works fine now. The linkage, throttle and kickdown linkage, was the biggest pain. To get this whole arrangement right, it took me hours and hours. And it's still not quite perfect yet, but I mean, it's good enough. What I had to do, I took the stock throttle cable bracket assembly, or just the piece that's right here, and I had these two extensions made out of just the same kind of steel material as the bracket, and I just bolted it all together. So that moved it up and back this way, because the stock 2-barrel, the linkage is that the arms, they come off the carburetor back here and more towards the center of the manifold. So you have to move the linkage, out and forward to get it all to line up. And I also, with the kickdown linkage, which is this part right here, it goes to the transmission, I had to spend a lot of time messing with that. I put in this adjustable first rod here, you can see the threads, to get the linkage long enough, because when you pull this up and back, it changes the the pivot point of all this, so you have to lengthen all the linkage here to make it fit and to make it work correctly with the transmission. So there was that. Also the cruise control cable that I wanted to keep. A lot of people recommended you doing the low car throttle and kickdown cable set. I did that on my Duster before. It's a good kit, but I really didn't want to spend the money on it. That's about it. Still a stock PCV valve. I just got done finishing the idle mixture tuning. I think I have it pretty close. I don't know, I'm a perfectionist, so when it comes to this stuff, I can never get it right, but start it up and see how it goes. Oh, see? Got here, right now it's 15 inches of vacuum. It's been sitting for a little while. Once it gets fully warmed up, it'll be about 16 and a half. You can see it coming up a little bit as it kind of settles down. That's about it. I've been messing with the carburetor a lot because it's a ThermoQuad and they have a bunch of stuff to adjust on them. You can hear it still kind of hunting a little bit. It's not completely smooth, which I don't like, but I'll just keep messing with it and see how it goes. But it drives great. I haven't driven it enough to check the gas mileage yet, but nice and responsive. No stumbling or flat spots. So yeah, pretty good upgrade. Good performance increase. And it drives smoother than with the stock 2-barrel and the lean burn spark fuel control setup. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed and or found it useful.